everybody, welcome back. Sorry for the delays and all the missed opportunities for videos over the summer. We're just very busy working on the car and very busy down here at the shop. We're starting to slow down a little bit, and we are at the end of the year for the car, right behind me. As you can see, it's already coming apart, no turbo on it, no anything like that. We're pulling the engine out, trying to get ready for 2021. Hopefully we have a much better year. Everybody has a better year in 2021 than 2020 was. So, but yeah, we are getting everything ready. We're getting it apart. Kind of a recap of how we did over this year. We got out to the track, had a couple of good passes. Then we fought a bunch of issues, got it on the chassis dyno a couple of times, found the issues. Went out, we had to change a converter. Went out, did subpar, went back out, did some testing, went up to Fargo, ended up winning the SRD shootout up there. We went back, rented the track at Fargo, which is Interstate Dragway, Interstate Raceway. They also have drifting and such there as well, so Interstate Raceway up there. We rented that, found that we needed a different converter, ordered a converter, had some other parts on order, stuff didn't come in, and ended up that was the end of our season. So right now, we're getting it all apart. We're going to freshen the engine, go through the transmission, and make some changes. Well, we'll just show you as we pull everything apart, and we'll tell you about a couple of surprises we have coming up for early 2021. So stay tuned. We're going to pull this engine out. You can watch. We're going to put this up in the air first. Whoa, I got real close there. Going to put this up in the air, and then since the engine weighs so much and everything is now going to be in the rear, there's no transmission, it can actually tip off the hoist if we try to lift it up. So we actually take and we tie the frame down to the hoist so that way it can't fall back. Okay, so car's up in the air. We got the engine out. Now let's get this thing torn apart. We're just gonna get the heads off of it right now so we can take a look at everything there. And then after that, we'll get the bottom end tore apart, see what we find, and kind of go off from there. So this is obviously the HEMI. You saw it in earlier videos when we were building the car. It's out. There's a lot of silicone on here because this is O-ringed, but it has O-rings on here for the intake manifold. And they were kind of thin and worn out, and they weren't sealing. I didn't have the O-ring material when we were putting it back together, so I just slapped some silicone over it, sealed it up, and there it went. So, but let's go ahead and we're going to get the spark plugs and valve covers off, and then we're going to pull all push rods out and get lifters out and everything like that, and we'll get this thing ready to get the heads off. The valve covers off. Let's go ahead and we're going to take everything apart here. I want to show you everything on here. So here's the HEMI heads that we use. These are a billet Veni head. You can see they're all billet. There's no water in this at all. So what we have to do is we're going to bring these so there's lash on them. It's pretty cold. There you go. We get so there's lash on them. We're going to take all the push rods out. It's nice because you can just loosen these up and then pivot this out of the way. Pull the push rod right out. You don't have to take the rockers all off. Once we have those out, we will then remove all of these bolts that hold the stands from rocking, and then these are also head bolts right here that hold all of them down. So we have to remove those head bolts, and then the head bolts down here, and then the heads can finally come off. So we have all of that to do, so let's get to it. push rods out. We've got the lash caps off, so you can see the rockers just kind of flop around like that. The nice thing is, like I was showing, is you can move these rockers when there's nothing on there. There's no pressure. You can just put that to the side, and you can pull your push rods right out like that. So you saw that earlier, but yeah, it's a really nice feature on these. So we're going to get the rocker bolts out of here, and then we're going to take all the head bolts out of the top, pull the rocker stands off, get the head bolts from underneath, pull the heads off, and go, ooh! So I want to show you guys something. Just saw. Okay. So this engine, when we got it, had some oil leaks. There's pressurized oil that comes up through the heads, comes through the shafts here, and oils everything on here. Okay. I and my father both hate oil leaks. So we put some silicone right there along the edge, where you can see it's still leaked. It didn't really do much. Kind of around there to try to mask that. Well, that's right stuff, and if you know anything about mechanics, right stuff is impossible to work with on there, and it's literally holding the head down and causing it to pivot and wedge on the studs. So I either need to remove the studs or get out a knife and cut along the head there. So we're going to grab a knife and cut along the head and get this head off. This was quite the pain in the butt. These are some pretty long studs, and to get past everything, was quite a pain in the rear. So we got the one head off here, but I just wanted to show you everything on here. So let's go like this. There's our pistons. We can tell we knew we were running rich this year, so there's obviously some fuel marks on there. Looks like we need to give it probably a little bit of a hone on the cylinders. Looks like it's got an okay crosshatch down in there. But we'll just run a hone over it and do everything good there. These are your oil feeds. Actually, there's another one up here. So you've got oil that comes up through everything and returns. So they're both, return as well on there. So yeah, it's a pretty cool setup to see all this. The head over here, we left the rockers on. Once I realized, I was like, hey, since the head bolt or stud is what holds the rocker arm down on there, I can leave the rockers on, pull the whole thing off, and leave the rockers on there. Once I have it up on my head bench, then I can pull the rockers off with my special tool and everything like that, and it'll come right off. So I said, hey, just skip that step, Greg. And I said, okay, Greg. So I usually listen to him. I think he's kind of smart. So, yeah, so here's the head. There's the cylinders. Obviously, we have some holes that are running a little wetter or richer than others on there, but for the most part, it's a billet head. Everything looks good. So we'll get the other head off. But like I said at the beginning here, we have a couple of surprises for 2021. If you follow myself or the Bad Influence page on Facebook, you may already have heard this, but we are getting everything ready because in February, at the end of February, we are going to be heading down to South Georgia Motorsports Park, and we are going to enter Radial versus the World. We're putting 315s on it. We're putting everything on there. We're upgrading. We got the new turbo in. Maybe I'll throw a picture up or something like that right here. So we got the 118. We are switching a bunch of stuff over, lightweight battery, all kinds of stuff. We're going to get this down to about 2,550 pounds in that area. And get out there and go try some radials. We were just antsy to get back on the track since this year was kind of subpar. And the year before with the wreck, wasn't very much fun there. So we just weren't ready to be done. So we're going to freshen up all this stuff, the car, the engine, upgrade a couple of things. We've got some powder coat pieces for the exhaust. And then we're putting it all together. We're going to hit a hub dyno, dial everything in, and then we're headed down to Georgia in February. So stay tuned. This is going to be kind of the this portion with Bad Influence Car is going to be some of the getting ready for Georgia and then going down. So that's a couple months out, but we will be doing that. We also have some parts that are going to be here, or that just showed up for the GTO, the GT OPE, as we call that one. We have a new cam, intake manifold, 102mm throttle body, a bunch of other stuff, and we're going to be showing a complete custom nitrous system on that, because that is going to be a nitrous bottle baby for on the street. And we're shooting to try to make about 600 to the tire on that, so it'll be pretty fun. So follow along, all that. Please hit like, subscribe, all of that junk. You guys be safe out there, and have a great weekend.